Hello everybody, and welcome to the June 2025 update here at Reesby Estates and on the farm. So June has been a bit of a whirlwind month really, soon come and gone. A lot has changed, mainly due to yet again the weather. So if we start with the weather, we've had 40.6 millimeters of rain in June, which can't quite believe standing now just at the very end of June, very 1st of July, with the conditions we've got. But that all fell at the very beginning in a couple of days of June. So although it was welcome, not very useful, because it all came in one big go and then disappeared again. So it left us most of June without any rainfall after that. We've had an average temperature through the whole of June of 17.8. We had a high of 31.7 back on the 21st of June, and then we had a low of 6.7 during the night at the beginning, sort of when these rains were. So yeah, June has been a very dry and very hot month in total. It really has altered the farm on the crop conditions. Crops have now just about given up. They're senescing home pretty quickly. By that I mean they're dying off. The seeds are ripening potentially too quickly, which means we're going to lose weight, not getting enough moisture in, not getting enough grain fill. But there's absolutely nothing now we can do about that. So if we look at June as a whole, what do we get up to? Adrian and I visited one of the biggest shows in the UK to do with agriculture, which is called Cereals, which was in Lincolnshire this year on Andrew Ward's farm. Adrian and I visited there in the middle of June. We actually managed to bump into one of the people who like to watch these YouTube videos all the way from Sussex, believe it or not. I'm sorry I can't remember your name, but it's great to see people who watch these get some feedback and how much they find it informative. So that really is good to know. We've held our Agri Open Day, which was right at the end of June. So you'll see a few pictures of that on here, which was a very hot day, but very well attended. Thank you to everybody who came along to that. Always good to share information. Always new thoughts come out of it to keep us driving forward. We have desiccated our oilseed rape. I'm stood in the field now, so I'll show you a little bit about that. It's incredible how quick this rape has gone from not looking sort of fit to being fit. So we'll look at that in a minute. And then Adrian and Zach have been frantically trying to get the stores ready for harvest as well, because we are going to be 2 weeks earlier than normal. And the barley will probably be the first thing to go, then the oilseed rape, and then we'll quickly followed by the wheat. I think we could be on for somewhere around the 3rd or 4th of July on a start into our barley, where I think the earliest we've started here in my time is around the 5th of July on the barleys. But the difference this year is it's going to be barley, then it's going to be rape, and then I think we'll be into the wheat. Everything's going to roll, so we are at least 2 weeks ahead of where we normally are. So let's just take a look now at the decisions made on when we desiccated this oilseed rape. So as we look across this rape, we can see it's looking a very nice light brown colour now, and the pods are pretty rattly when we rattle them. It has rapidly gone from a week ago being almost at the point where we will desiccate it to rapidly being almost too late for desiccating it. However, the decision was taken to actually use Roundup as a desiccant, because although this area of the field is pretty dead, there's areas below the woodlands and further deeper in the crop which aren't quite there, and oilseed rape gets very brittle and showers can shatter it out. So if we're waiting for them last few patches to come ripe, we run the risk of losing everything else, which is then very ripe. So we put a desiccant on just to even it out and allow us to get into it. So if we just take a look, so if we look here at these pods, you can see these ones are still a bit green. We want to be seeing these pods turning a brown colour sort of further down the canopy. See, these ones have gone black, even though the pod's still slightly green. We're blacky brown, so they are good to go. If we desiccate too early when they're still green, we'll end up with red seeds, what we want, and then we get penalised. We really want black seeds, so that's good to go. The problem with oilseed rape is it's very hard to walk amongst. You can see here it's stood up around me. I can't just walk through this field now. And if I look right down that bottom, I can see a green haze against the wood. So what we can deploy is the actual drone. So to aid me to see what the whole field looks like, I can put the drone up, which you'll see in a second, just to get a view if the field is pretty much majority there, ready to be sprayed. So here we are, just flying over the rape with the drone. If we go up now, give you a 360 over all this rape crop what we've got. Just a nice view around this block of rape, and you can actually see the tracks there where deer have been running through the rape. Here's a bit of a green area talking about the glyphosate being used just to even the crop up. So as we fly in closer, now you can really pick out how the crop, although it looked fit from where we were stood, the importance of taking the drone over just to examine the crop and make sure where we are. So it's this green what we're trying to level up. And then we'll fly over here just to give you a bird's eye view of our oilseed rape trials, what we've got with Agri here. So each one of these plots, 2 meters wide, is a different variety replicated throughout the trial to allow them to accurately assess the different varieties within the season. There you can see a lot of differences in growth habits in earliness to maturity, but it's looking good this year. For those of you who saw the May update, you would have seen Adrian pushing down the wheelings of this oilseed rape, and we talked about then why we do it, to stop the shattering of the sprayer. Well, this wheeling here is where Adrian's ran through, and you can see it is very minimal shattering. If we were seeing shattering, we would see like this one here where it's white, where it stripped the seeds out, and you can see very minimal. That's just where the edge of the tractor has caught everything laying in, and you would get that with a self-propelled machine as well. But you can see over the top here of the rows, absolutely no shattering. There's still some greenery in the row, which means we didn't break it when we pushed it over, so we haven't hampered yield at all. Yet I dare say we have got less shattering doing it this way than we used to have with a self-propelled going through. So here is Adrian desiccating the oilseed rape. Adrian actually came in about 1 o'clock in the morning to get the glyphosate on when the rape would actually accept it, because had it been hot in the day, more than likely wouldn't have got taken in. Adrian got some cracking views during the night and then of the sunrise early in the morning. So well done, Adrian, for coming in and doing that. So we've got our technology open day in a few days' time on Monday the 30th of June, which is the Agri Technology Centre open day. And I'm here in our large winter wheat plots, which we've got 16 of them this year, half-hectare plots or there or thereabouts. So I'm just mowing out the walkway. We sprayed it out earlier in the year, and then behind me here you can see I'm mowing it out, because we'll have anywhere between 60 or 80 farmers from around Lincolnshire and further afield come and have a look through these plots. So what we've got here is the sort of common grown wheat varieties with a few of the new wheat varieties thrown in. We've got on this side of me no fungicides applied, so it's had nutrition and growth regs but no disease control on it. So here we're letting the natural genetics of the crop do what it does. And on this side of me we've got the exact growth reg nutrition program, but we've put our farm standard plant protection fungicide program across those plots. And then beyond that is another 2 tram lines of where we put a really robust fungicide program on, above and beyond what we would normally do, but just to see what effect that actually has, so we can draw a curve, if you like, between non-treated, farm standard, and then gold standard, where it has quite a lot of spend. Is that bringing yield? Doesn't mean that's what we do across all our varieties. We treat each variety as it needs, but on this case it's just looking which varieties respond and which varieties don't. You'll get some varieties in these untreated which might very closely match the treated strips, so we can take a lot out of it. So when we've got these crops in the actual fields, we've got some knowledge to know that actually we're okay. If the weather pattern's like it has been this year, we know where our spend, our protection needs to be, and what these crops can do on their own. So that's what we're busy with here right now, just mowing this out, getting that ready for that day. Getting set up for the agri day today. What we've got, see, we've got our horse drills laid out behind us. We've got our 10-metre sprinter here, and then we've got Horsch's new, this is actually a 12-metre, but their new sprinter, the new design on it. So we're just going to chat through the pros and cons of both, what a great drill that's been, but potentially improvements here, what we've got coming if we was to potentially look at another drill. Soil movement, so you're in the balance there of, okay, I'm getting too much soil disturbance. I still think 30 is too wide anyway.
Okay, cheers. Maybe you're right, close to there. Certainly on lighter soils, it's just going to push through.
So like I say, it's been a very busy June. June's come and gone very quickly. I'm now stood in what I believe to be our first field of barley that we will end up cutting probably in another couple of days. So somewhere, like I say, around the 3rd or 4th of July, we shall be into this barley. You can see it's looking pretty golden now. We've lost the wispiness. By the wispiness I mean like these little bits of whiter bits like you see up the tram lines. The majority is now all pretty much golden. And then if we have a look at the ears themselves, pretty much dead. And then if we just chomp into it without breaking the teeth, that is pretty hard. So yeah, this is going to be, I would actually say now it's pretty much ready to go. We're probably low 15, we're probably more the sort of 13 and a half, but how hard that was. But we're just waiting for them wispy bits on the tram lines to go a little bit more. And the final preparations in the yard, we've got Fent coming out just to do a couple of updates on the combine, on the software. Left it to as late as we can to make sure we've got the very latest updates on the combine. That will be done tomorrow, and then we'll be good to go into here. One thing I can guarantee though is that now I think it's ready for harvest. You can see the clouds bubbling up in the background. Just looking on the forecast, and lo and behold, Wednesday, Thursday, looks like we might get some rain. But that's just the way it goes. We can't do much about the weather. Looks fairly fine after that again. So there's an old saying that when you think your barley's fit, go on holiday for a week. So maybe that rain will just hold us off it until it definitely is fit. So anyway, that's it for the update for June. Hope you found that informative. We will see you for the July update, when I am pretty confident we will have had the combine rolling, certainly in barley, probably in oilseed rape, and I would probably think we might have had some wheat through it as well. So another busy month coming up. We will see you then.